My most favorite way to fall asleep to ASMR is with my sleep phones, pajamas for your ears. If you'd like to purchase your own pair, I have an affiliate link down in the description box where I'd make a small percentage of the sale, which would greatly help out me and my channel, and also help you to relax and fall asleep. I'll talk more about sleep phones at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Beqaa in Lebanon. The Beqaa Valley is one of the most beautiful and main natural sites of Lebanon, although there are many. I've covered Lebanon before. I guess I'll throw the playlist up there, but we've already discussed Baalbek Hermel up here. There's Baalbek and Beirut, which, if this looks a little gray, it's because when I did the Beirut video, I apparently marked it a lot with this pencil, and there were pencil marks everywhere, and then I tried to erase it and it just smudged. There was this huge black smudge all over Beirut, so I've been trying to fix it, and I think I fixed it enough as best I can. It's still a little smudgy, but it's better than it was. My apologies to beautiful Beirut. But anyway, we're talking about the Beqaa Valley today. The Beqaa Valley sits between two mountain ranges. There's the Mount Lebanon range, you can see here. And then along here is the Anti-Lebanon range, which I've been having my brother-in-law, when he's having downtime at work, research these regions like the week before I deep dive into them, and he thought that Anti-Lebanon was like the weirdest name. He was like, does that mean that Lebanese people aren't allowed to cross it? And I'm like, no, you can see right here, Anti-Lebanon range. It just means it's across from the Lebanon range. And he's like, oh. But still, yeah, very easy to remember the Lebanons and the Anti-Lebanons. Right in the middle is the beautiful Beqaa Valley. Flowing right through the middle, you can see here is the Litani River, the longest river in Lebanon. Right here you can see Lake Karaun, which I hope I'm saying that right. Big beautiful man-made reservoir there. And about right here or so, we'll look at it on Google Earth, is the Amik wetland, the largest freshwater wetland in Lebanon. But the Beqaa Governorate is known as the breadbasket of Lebanon, which is funny because we just covered the breadbasket of Nigeria yesterday. Lots of breadbaskets around the world, isn't there? But I read that 49% of Lebanon's agriculture, 49% of Lebanon's agriculture comes out of this governorate, and the majority of its livestock as well. So it's vastly important. I'll show you on Google Earth later, but it reminds me of a very mini version of California's Central Valley between the two mountains, and it's just lush, beautiful farmland. But let's talk about the history of this area. Lebanon's history is very long and extensive, which if you click the little link for my Lebanon series, you can learn a lot more about the history of Lebanon. So much has happened in Lebanon, not much has happened in here, but we'll discuss what has happened. There have, of course, been people here as long as there have been people here in the Levant. It's just that everything was happening here on the coast in Byblos and Sidon, Tyre's down there. all the major coastal cities of the Phoenicians. Not much happening over here. I'm sure it was just little farming communities. And nothing very major happened. And it was all happening up here. There's Baalbek right there. It was all happening up here. Not so much down here. Just farming communities. Nothing really happened down here significantly until about the 8th century, the very early 8th century, when the town of Anjar was founded. You can see right here. And Anjar is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So let me grab my tablet. This is my favorite part. I'm always excited when we get to read the UNESCO sites. And we'll read about Anjar. The city of Anjar was founded by Caliph Walid I at the beginning of the 8th century. The ruins reveal a very regular layout, reminiscent of the palace cities of ancient times, and are a unique testimony to city planning under the Umayyads. Let's take a look at the pictures first and we'll dissect all of that because it is so stunning. Look at these amazing arches. And so amazing that they're still standing after all this time. I'll tell you why that's impressive. That's the big palace here. The beautiful walls as well. So yes, the Umayyad Caliphate was pretty much the first major Islamic caliphate post-Muhammad, I suppose. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, the first major caliph that wasn't, like, directly designated by the Prophet Muhammad. I suppose you could say it that way. But they were based in Damascus, which is just right over here. So they established Anjar to be a planned palace city. It was entirely planned out, like a Roman city, and you could see a lot of the influence there. Lots of Roman and Byzantine architecture, but also lots of distinct Umayyad architecture, which let me pull it up again so I can show you what I mean. I should have said that when I had the pictures up, but you can see the beautiful columns here. Very Roman, very Byzantine. But then these arches are so reminiscent of like Cordoba in Spain, which the Umayyads were the first like main Islamic group to invade the Iberian Peninsula, which eventually their ancestors would develop like Cordoba and all of those beautiful mosques in Spain, what's now Spain today, right, on Andalusia. So it's a really beautiful archaeological site, isn't it? Anjar, however, has a very sad fate in that the city was never finished. It was actually abandoned in the year 744 after the caliph lost power, and I assume that was kind of the beginning of the end of the Umayyads at that time because the Abbasids are not far behind. At least I think so. Do I have my dynasties right? Or the Abbasids next? Someone will correct me, I'm sure. Not my strongest history suit, these ancient Islamic caliphates. But still very fascinating. I really should just spend a day deep diving that, shouldn't I? Nevertheless. Yeah, the city was never finished, so there really wasn't any major city areas here until probably, I want to say maybe the 16th, 17th, 18th centuries. And that was mainly due to various high demands for agricultural output, being very conveniently placed between Europe over there and Asia over here, the Middle East over here, and Africa, mainly Egypt down here. Lots of wars would happen, and those armies need to be fed. Lebanon is very conveniently in the middle of a lot of the conflicts that occurred at that time, so they were able to produce food. And of course, you need lots of people to produce all that food. So that was mainly how these settlements really sprang up around that time. There was also various influxes of refugees coming from, again, various corners of the world. You have Syria, Turkey, Egypt, Palestine at the time, right? Various peoples from this corner of the world finding safety and solace in the Beqaa Valley. And a lot of Christians as well. It's believed that Zala was probably founded as one of the exoduses of Christians from up north here. It's not really certain, but again, it's kind of iffy when exactly these towns really sprang up, because it was during these very random times. And Jar, I told you, was abandoned. It was actually resettled in 1939, and that was by refugees from Armenia. And today there's a very, very large Armenian population there. Of course, it's their descendants, so they're Lebanese Armenians, but Armenians nonetheless. During Lebanon's civil war, which occurred between 1975 and 1990, Syria invaded the country under the pretext that they were helping. You could say that they really just made things far worse, but they really occupied the Beqaa Valley and the Beqaa, what's to become the Beqaa Governorate here, as a base of operations, mainly to get to Beirut. But any part where they could attack and invade, they could do it from there. And to be honest, that's pretty much all the history that I have for you. This governorate was once just one big governorate, just called Beqaa Valley Governorate. It split into two in 2014. And that's pretty much all that I have for you. In terms of history, I have a lot to show you on the tablet, because of course it's the Beqaa Valley. This place is so stunningly beautiful. Let's head over to the tablet and we'll check it out. Here we are in the Beqaa Governorate. And let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. So this region is, oh my gosh, my chair will not stop squeaking. Sorry about that. This area is historically known as the Levant. It pretty much consists of Israel and Palestine, like this part of Jordan, Lebanon, like this part of Syria. And I guess you could say like a little bit of Turkey up there, I suppose. Just this stretch here is known as the Levant. I guess into Sinai as well. But, oh, we're not done. The Levant is along this eastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea. You can see Egypt down here. Turkey is up here. We have the Middle East, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, of course beautiful Jordan and Syria up there. That is where Lebanon is located, and of course there's Cyprus right there. So let's take a look at this beautiful valley. You can see the strip of green right here, right? So here's Mount Lebanon, which can be kind of confusing. I think it's mainly like old world terminology, because today we would say Lebanon Mountains or Mountains of Lebanon. We wouldn't call this one Mount, but they did back then, and that's the name that stuck. So this is the Mount Lebanon Mountains. And the anti-Lebanons you can see over here. So this is the beautiful Beqaa Valley through here. You can see this stretch right here. Which, let me show you California so you see what I'm talking about. I'm born and raised in California. I'll never shut up about it. But you can see the beautiful Central Valley here, with the Sierra Nevadas and the Cascades up here, creating this big valley. It all very much, especially when I look at pictures of Beqaa, very much reminds me of the Central Valley. Just all farmland and quaint towns and things like that. We are going to start up. Goodness, I got disoriented. Where's everything? Why isn't anything popping up? There we go. I was trying to find Zalia, but the big Beqaa Governorate, I guess, display was over the name, and I was like, where did it go? I'm going to start here in Saleh, which is a really beautiful, very hilly town. As you can see this big deep valley and all of these big hills in between. Do you see? The most famous site in town is at the very tippy top of one of these hills. There's I believe it's at a church with this huge tower, which looks really bad in the 2D. But the statue at the top is the Lady of Saleh. Just a really pretty title. A Marian statue. There's the view from the top. I wish we could see the statue. The view is great. There's the inside. This lovely church. There's a statue way up there. But I think, to be honest, all of these memorials around, it's very lovely. I think if I just go to Saleh's main slideshow, we'll probably see more pictures of it there. Get back in 2D. Oh my gosh, why isn't this cooperating? There we go. Here we go. You can see the statue up there, overlooking the town. And it's very much, it looks like an old obelisk, doesn't it? Probably is. Overlooking the whole town here. Pretty much whenever I tried to research like anything about Saleh, it was like, do you mean this Lady of Saleh's statue? And I'm like, well, like yes and no. I'd like to know more about it, but everything I read just wanted to tell me about the statue, which is very cool and very beautiful. Look at that green. Oh, see, there's a good up close. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, nice little town here. Alright, I want to show you. Not Homs. Oh no, I'm turned around. We're heading into Syria. There we go. Not that place. Not the cedar forest. Unfortunately, not the cedar forest. Goodness, here it is. The reservoir here, Karaun Dam. Here's a nice slideshow of the area. Look at that. Ugh. Big old ominous hole in the middle. Must be really low that day. Isn't that lovely? It looks, this could be California. If you showed me a picture of this and said, is it California? I'd be like, yeah, absolutely it is. That's crazy. How much this place looks like Central California to me. Ooh, we got lots of pumpkins and melons and garlic. Ooh. The breadbasket of Lebanon, of course. This guy thinks it's really cool. Beautiful little area here. Oh, I know what I want to show you. When I was poking around various towns, trying to find good pictures to show you guys, it was this town, I think, really just is a good example, Kafraya, of what this place is like. The mountains in the distance and the very lush green rolling hills in between with all the little farmland, all the little towns. Look how stunning. This could be California easily. This could be California easily. Yeah, this makes me feel like I'm at home. It's really awesome. What a lovely corner of the world Lebanon is. It's very special. It looks like a big cedar tree, doesn't it? Very important part of Lebanon's history. A distillery, maybe? A winery? Probably a winery, knowing. I guess it could be a distillery. Well, that's wine. That's got to be wine. Also, like Central California. I honestly think that was all I wanted to show you besides Anjar. I guess we'll look at. It's trying to highlight Bar Elias for me. I guess we'll take a look. I think I looked at this slideshow. Maybe not. No, just a little town. Oh, I did see the slideshow. Just town stuff. All good and stuff, but you can see that stuff anywhere. I'm going to stop saying the word stuff. Let's finish off in Anjar, which you can very clearly see these ruins here. This old planned city that was never ever finished. There's an Armenian church right there. But let's take a look at Jar Citadel. From above, you can see how very efficiently planned out it was. Very much like a Roman city. Perfect little square. And the perfect little square buildings as well. You can see all the shadows of the columns that are still standing. Umayyad city ruins. Look how stunning. That is amazing that it's still standing after being abandoned in the 700s. This is still intact. Wow. Maybe a bath, you think? So beautiful. I would love to walk around this place. And just the details in the walls, how these are two different forms of bricks. So you create these natural stripes. I'm sure they were painted as well. Very much reminds me of Cordoba. Look how pretty. That's so clever to have like the big bricks and then layer the little stones there to create natural stripes. There's a camel. Lots of beautiful little details. Look at the grapes. Beautiful stonework there. Oh, you can ride a carriage through. That would be fun. But let's end it on this slideshow at Jar Citadel. Let's end it here. I hope it's not the same exact pictures. Probably. Let's end it here anyway. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this style of content, please consider subscribing. This is an ongoing series on my channel. Next, we're heading over to Montenegro. I didn't think of what I wanted to say to transition into Montenegro. We're going to see lots of fun ancient buildings on Google Earth there too. But very different. We're going to look at some beautiful monasteries. How about that? So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Don't forget to give this video a little thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Doing so really helps the algorithm push this video out. So sharing also helps if you want to share this video with friends, but liking and leaving comments helps just as much. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night. Look at all the little patchwork farmland there. Isn't that so quaint? I love looking at farmland from above. It's a little quilt. Good night. 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 This is my pair of sleep phones. Pajamas for your ears. And it's essentially a headband with little speakers in it. So you can pop it on your head and comfortably lay down on your pillow and listen to binaural ASMR as you fall asleep. It's all dusty, but that's good because this is machine washable. You can just pop out the little headphones there and wash this. I guess I have to do that next. Cat hairs all over it. I use this pretty much every night. It's perfect for traveling. And actually, here's a story for you. This is not my original pair of sleep phones. I went and visited one of my best friends, brought my sleep phones with me, and accidentally left it behind. So my friend says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll ship it to you. It's fine." But then she tells me the next day, "Actually, I'm not, because I used it, and I love it, and I'm keeping it, and I just bought you a new pair. I'm sending it to your home." So this is the pair she sent me. My original ones are still with my bestie. She kept it. It's so funny. But I swear by these things. I sleep so well with them. They don't bother me either. I have chronic migraine. I have to be careful with what I put on my head, because if it's too tight or makes me too sweaty, I get a migraine. This has never done that. It's incredibly comfortable. The sound quality is awesome. and I just pass out and sleep so well when I'm wearing these. I can't recommend it enough. So if you would like to get your pair, I have an affiliate link down in the description box. It would very much help out my channel. Don't forget to uninstall Honey before you purchase. And you can get your own pair of sleep phones, pajamas for your ears, and sleep comfortably and sound. They have all sorts of different styles. They have a wireless version. I just have the wire one, just because that was just what I had before she bought me the same pair. But they have all sorts of different kinds for all sorts of different types of people. So be sure to check them out and sleep well.